Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Today we have Pickle,
Howdy.
Chip,
What's up, people?
and Sweet Pea.
Hey, y'all.
And of course we have Pop-Tart. Sadly, today we do not have French fry.
No French
but,
fry. Nope, he's busy.
We're still going to have a conversation.
We
Are y'all
are.
ready to have a conversation?
I'm ready to have a
I'm
conversation.
ready.
Let's go.
I am too.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
What is on the agenda for today?
Well, I guess it's time for us to do this day in history.
Oh.
So, this day in history, January 23rd, is the day that a very important person was born. John.
Well, wasn't me.
John F. Kennedy?
It was John Hancock.
Oh.
I have a question.
I knew it was one of those
What?
Johns.
So yeah, I do recognize John Hancock. Put your John Hancock right. Is that where that come from?
Yes.
Put your John
He was
Hancock
the
there?
first
He was the
person-
biggest signature.
He was the first person to sign the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, and he had the big
Yeah,
Pop-Tart.
he had a very flashy
largest-
signature.
Have you ever heard anybody say put your John Hancock on it?
No, but it's probably like
You've never heard of that?
put your hand on your...
No.
it means put your
It
signature.
means put your signature there.
Your cursive fancy signature.
Oh, you're young. You're still a baby.
He hasn't reached
I
that lesson
am
in
not
history.
a baby.
Okay, moving on. This day in history was also the day that Elizabeth Blackwell received
I don't know her.
a degree from a college in New York and became the first American-trained woman physician.
What's a
Okay,
physician?
what year?
A
Doctor.
Oh, cool.
When was this?
This was in 1849.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That was like a couple
did
hundred
not-
years
I
ago.
did not know her or know that.
I don't know. I never really made
Okay.
a point to know that.
Here's another one. On this day in 1997, Madeleine Albright, who had earlier served as U.S. ambassador to the UN, assumed under President Bill Clinton the office of Secretary of State and became the first woman to hold that cabinet position.
Oh,
Okay.
gnarly.
That's two women that made
That was still
history on
before
this
my
day.
time, so.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. I was alive. I don't remember it.
The last piece, and what I think is the most interesting piece, says in 1957, Walter Frederick Morrison sold the rights to his flying disc to the Wham-O Toy Company.
Frisbee stuff?
It's a frisbee.
Oh,
Frisbee stuff.
sweet.
The frisbee was born.
We don't
Did-
have a frisbee.
I did not. No, we do. We used to have a Frisbee.
Yeah, someone ran over it.
Someone
No,
left
somebody-
it outside
And somebody threw it against a tree.
and cracked it. And so
Yeah.
then we threw a cracked Frisbee for a long time.
And then someone squished it and threw it away.
Well,
And it just...
We need to get
Anyway, we
another
got
one.
off topic. But, yeah, the Frisbee was born.
well, that's all for this day in history.
Well, before we move on, if this podcast continues for decades and decades,
Ugh.
will I be...
Decades and decades. You're going to be like 70 years old.
Will I ever get to be the topic of this day in history? Like on this day in history,
On your
May
birthday,
12th,
we'll say.
Maybe when you
1983.
die.
Oh, well, I forgot.
We'll
I'm suppo-
beep. We'll put a
I'm-
beep there.
I'm
yeah.
supposed to stick with the podcast name. On this day in history,
I'll put a beep there.
May
like that.
12th, 1983.
Chip.
Chip was born.
Chip of Ancurandy.
We'll probably just wait till you cross over Jordan
Yeah.
and announce when you die.
But I mean, honestly, decades and decades, I don't think at least the younger generation isn't going to want to listen to a 70-year-old do a podcast.
Pop-Tart is going to carry this podcast
He'll be in
through.
his like 40s and decades and decades.
You never know where this thing will go.
Good grief.
Hey, do you think anybody's ever died on their birthday?
Yes.
I'm sure they have.
This is really going far, far away from
Yeah,
where we're
it's
supposed to be
fine.
going.
Switching gears, let's get to the real nitty-gritty of the podcast. What is it?
that, Sweet Pea?
So the nitty gritty actually came to us from a listener, and they said, why don't y'all do a podcast on firsts? And I thought that's a great idea because this is the first month of a new year. So we're going to do a podcast on the first time that certain things have happened.
Oh, so like the first
okay.
person on the moon.
Yes.
No,
Listen.
can't do that. It was fake.
We're going to start off.
It's fake.
The first person on the
did
moon was
go
not.
to the moon.
The moon landing was fake.
No, the video of them flying the flag was
Yep.
The
fake.
moon
It's fake.
landing was not
There's no-
fake.
there's
They
no
did land
wind.
on the moon.
The popular video.
Okay.
That's like saying the Earth is flat.
Moving on. The first that we're going to say first
Was
is
January 1st.
the very first cell phone call. Guess when the very first cell phone... If you had to guess a year, what year do you
I
think?
think
it
I've
was
actually
in?
heard this
So
one.
I'm going to guess a year. Pop-Tart, what do you guess? What year do you think? All right, so we are talking like cell phone as we know a cell phone.
Like not telephone.
Let me see. It's a cell phone.
Like
Cell
not telephone. So like
Not a telephone, a cell phone.
All right, I'm going to take a
A
wild
Motorola
Okay,
cell
so
phone.
I'm going to take a wild guess, and I'm going to say probably around 96 or 97. That's my guess.
What do you guys think?
I think either I don't know 99 to 2000.
Pop-Tart don't have a clue.
say 56
Okay, really?
through 2000.
No,
That's a
you
wide
can't go that
range.
blind.
Cheating.
That's like
Okay.
World War
All right.
II.
So what was it?
It was 1973.
No.
Yes, it
I
was.
disagree. Fact check that.
Are you serious?
Fact checked it.
Listen,
There's no way.
Technophiles can celebrate
No.
April 3rd, 1973 as their holiday. On this date, Motorola employee Martin Cooper made the first cell phone call standing outside in Manhattan to a colleague in New Jersey. His immortal first words, "I'm ringing you just to see if my call sounds good at your end."
No, I disagree. I'm disagreeing.
Well,
So are
sorry.
you telling me that was a actually cordless phone?
Yeah.
How? There's no way.
I don't know. Maybe you can do that as a research project. I think we should go to the next thing.
Hold on, no, I'm still stuck on
Was that
this.
the closest?
Oh, we're
50
never going
years
to get
ago.
to move on.
This is part of the conversation.
Was I the
This is
closest?
lasting a long time.
Hold on, let's think about this. I want to dissect and analyze this real
Please
quick.
don't.
Was I the
Agony.
closest?
I want to think about this. Does anybody know when the regular telephone was invented?
It's a long time ago.
Probably back in the
Alexander Graham Bell.
40s or 50s.
Way before our time.
All right, I'm going to admit something.
World War II era, probably.
Hold on.
Right.
Okay, hold
before
on.
Then,
Guess what?
I'd guess.
Oh, you know what? So I'm sitting here doing this podcast and I'm googling my fingers off, trying to find something out. Okay, so see, here's the information I'm getting right now. That the first handheld mobile phone was in 1983
Yeah, that sounds
by Motorola.
That was probably the first one made available to customers. But it sounds like this was like a trial run.
So it says that in 1983, that was the first handheld cellular phone that allowed people to make longer distance calls than just a landline. So,
Oh, and this, by the way,
guess
this
what?
comes from ReadersDigest.com.
Guess what?
What?
Guess what I just found?
What?
The first handheld cellular phone was made on April 3rd, 1973 by Motorola engineer Martin Cooper.
Yeah, that's what I was just
That's who
talking
you
about.
read?
Well, let me double check, but I think so. Yeah, Martin Cooper.
Okay, I'm disappointed. I thought I lived in the era of the first cell phone, and now I'm finding
Well, no,
out
you lived
it
in
was-
the era of the first iPhone.
No, I thought.
You lived in the era of the first smartphone.
Yeah, the first smartphone. We did.
Yeah,
That's
did.
what I was
All right,
thinking.
yeah.
I was thinking about a smartphone.
No,
not-
it wasn't a smartphone.
All right.
Are we ready to move on?
I'm disappointed.
Pickle, do
Yeah,
you
I
have one
guess.
you want to read?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first food microwaved.
Okay, I'm guessing this too. I think.
When do you think?
You know what?
You're going to be wrong. I'm going to, 'cause I would be
Okay,
wrong.
so my story is I'm not going to guess because I know it's probably going to be way before I thought. But I remember when my family first got a microwave, and I remember it being a big deal
You mean
because
when you were a little boy,
yeah,
not
when
our
I was
family.
a little boy, not my family currently. But I remember growing up and we got our first microwave, and I thought I remember it being one of the first. Like microwaves were kind of a new thing. And I'm not saying like they were brand new when we got it, but I want to say they were probably only like 2 or 3 years old. But I'm not
Really?
I'm not going to guess
2 or 3
because
years old.
I'm not going
You're not going to guess?
I'm not going to guess because I
Okay,
think I would be really
guess,
wrong.
what do you think the first food to be microwaved? to be
Oh,
microwaved.
so is that the
was.
question?
Well, no. I'll
The
guess
first
year
food to
too.
be
Yeah, what
microwaved?
was the
And the
first
year.
food to be microwaved?
Oh man.
A dinner, one of those dinner
I
things
don't
that you
know.
could buy at the store.
That's a good guess.
What's it called?
A TV dinner?
Yeah, one of those.
So let me ask you this: is your answer going to be toward like a microwave as we know it today, or like a makeshift microwave?
No, it's a real
Like
microwave.
a microwave, like we know. Like they
like-
had electricity back then, so it wasn't that long ago.
I guess I'm going to guess. I'm just going to say like in the '60s or something.
Okay, what do you think they
I mean, I have no
microwaved?
idea.
What do you think? Guess a food.
I don't know. I
A
have
TV
no
dinner.
food. A
TV
frozen
dinner.
dinner.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
well,
read
no.
it, pickle.
Or a
They-
leg of lamb.
No, okay. The first food microwaved.
Wow.
The first food microwaved ever
A turkey.
was popcorn,
Okay.
Oh.
I'm getting
and
it.
Cool.
it was on October 8th, 1945.
45.
45.
My grandma was 5
Okay,
years
you
old.
know what? Something in me wants to go back and fact check every one of these.
Well,
I
you
find
already
this too-
tried that, and we were. It's
Oh.
Reader,
That's crazy.
I mean, Chip. It was ReadersDigest.com.
Percy
so-
Spencer had first discovered the heating powers
So-
of microwaves when he was working with
I
them in the
want-
lab, and accidentally melted a candy bar in his pocket.
I want
He
to
tested
know.
it out officially on popcorn, which was a success. And then he did it on an egg, which exploded in his face. Don't microwave eggs whole.
Kids.
Yeah.
It doesn't say adults can't.
I want to know why
Oh,
we were never
yeah.
taught this stuff.
We probably were. You probably just don't remember.
Like I never remember reading about the first microwave
I
in
guess
school.
they thought it wasn't important.
So what year was it?
1945. Hey, that's like, isn't that
45.
isn't that my mom's age? Or
No, she was 1940.
40, but still, she was a little girl when
I already said
invented
she
it.
was
So
been five.
okay, as y'all know and as the audience knows, I'm sitting here Googling, I'm fact checking. So I'm not going to disagree with you.
I don't know. This is just a website.
But I'm going to ask you a question. So when was the first microwave used for home use? Because I'm thinking yours probably was at home.
Well, no,
that-
his was
he
a
was
lab.
still
Okay,
experimenting in a lab.
So just throwing this out there.
Home use was probably
Home use.
1950s sometime.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. I mean,
Me
if that was
too.
1945, 1950s. Would
Are
be.
you serious?
Yeah, I think
You
so
want to stick
too.
with that? Do you really want to stick with
1960s.
What is it?
I think
1980?
50s.
that? 55.
55. Okay.
Good job, Pickle.
Push your microphone away from
Well,
you a little
hey,
bit.
if you round up, I was the closest.
All right. That was a good one. Something I didn't know. I'm surprised I didn't know that one either.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Anybody
The
else?
first person to walk around the world.
have no clue?
I can't even imagine walk. How would you walk around the world?
Yeah, like how are you crossing the oceans?
On October 5th, 1974, Dave Kunst walked back into Waseca, Minnesota from the west after having walked out of it from the east nearly 4 months earlier. It only took him 4 months.
No, that's
He did not get lost on the way to the gas station to get a beer. Instead, he became the first verified person to walk all the way around the earth on foot. Yes, that's minus the oceans. How do you walk around? He was talented, but not that talented. So I don't know. I have questions about this one because
So how
how
are we
can you just
crossing the
ignore
ocean?
the oceans and say you've walked all the way
Well,
around the earth?
well, maybe.
you know what? Maybe he was wearing wearable floaties on his feet.
Hey,
no,
go
no,
for
no.
him. Good for
Maybe
him.
he walked to the shoreline and flew to the next one or took a boat.
Or maybe he walked to the boat and then did the treadmill while the boat
That's what I was
walked.
gonna say.
Yeah, that would be a good
Across.
idea.
You could like walk on a treadmill and that powered the boat.
Maybe it was a treadmill powered boat, yeah.
Maybe.
Like a pedal boat,
Yeah.
a paddle boat.
Mm-hmm.
Pedal?
pedal boat.
Okay, pickle.
Okay, the first.
You don't have to go straight in order. Some of
The
these are not going to be
first
very
Hold on,
interesting.
guess what? What was his name?
His name was Dave Kunst or Kunst. I don't know how to say that.
Kunst, one of those.
Guess what?
What?
Did you know that while he was walking,
Yes.
No, I didn't.
He died.
he was supposed to be going with his brother John.
You're
he
not
had-
talking in front of your microphone.
He had a brother. Yes, I am. He had a brother named John, and they were supposed to be making the trip together. And on the trip, his brother was shot and killed by bandits.
Oh no, that's like the
Yeah.
Wild West.
Dave himself was actually wounded, but he healed up and resumed the walk by himself.
Wow, that's kind of sad.
The power of Google.
That's nice. Okay, the first selfie.
Oh dear.
Oh, I should have known you'd want to read that one.
So, what year do you think the first selfie was in? If
Well,
guess.
y'all said cell phones were in 45 or something.
Okay, so guess.
So they definitely didn't have cameras. The first, okay, so hold on. Are we talking about a selfie with a camera,
Just the
We're not
first
saying-
selfie.
or with a phone?
The first selfie.
All right, so that changes my whole way of thinking.
Well, I didn't confirm or deny anything. I'm not giving away.
Man, cameras have been around for like centuries and centuries, probably.
Well,
I don't know. I'm not even going to
Just
guess.
guess it. Say a year.
I'm not.
You
I'm
can't
not,
be wrong
He's
if you.
scared.
I'm not guessing.
Okay, Pop Tart, you guess a year.
1767.
Really?
Okay.
That's like back with Adam and Eve. I don't think they had
No,
cameras.
it's not.
I mean, it's close.
All right, read it.
So what's the fact?
Okay, Instagram wasn't a thing in the 1800s,
I agree.
but that doesn't mean young people didn't love to take pictures of themselves. In 1839, Robert Cornelius had some extra time on his hands while working at his family's store and decided to take a picture of himself. The first selfie. He would have to hold his pose for at least several minutes. However, this might explain why he didn't do the infamous duck lips face.
Thank goodness.
Like,
So-
you know, everyone on Instagram
What-
is
what
like
year
was
pushing their
that?
lips out and everything.
18 what?
1839.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. So
was
hey,
like a whole
you
century
said
off.
17 something.
1776 or something.
So
like that.
you were only a century off.
Yeah, only about a century. That's not
Yeah.
too much.
I'm going to do one about the first animal in space.
Oh, I know this one.
What?
Oh,
What animal?
I've heard it
I
on
know.
an audiobook I listened. Was it a hamster?
Nope.
No, but
dog?
it is a mammal.
A dog?
It was a dog.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say dog.
No, you would have said an ape probably.
I don't know how to say this name, but it's Laika. Laika.
Where did this animal go?
Space.
Space.
What planet?
We'll just wait and see. Laika, the goodest girl ever, became the first dog and animal to go into orbit on
And die in
November
space.
3rd, 1957. Tragically, the charming, quiet mongrel then became the first animal to die in space. As her
I was
ride,
right.
as her ride, the Sputnik 2 was not engineered for re-entry.
Oh, that's terrible. So they knew
They
she would
left knowing they
That's
wouldn't come back.
horrible. That's animal cruelty.
Did they have any humans, or she was by herself?
Well, no.
It
they knew
doesn't
she would die.
say. It just says that she went
Man,
into space.
you know how that would-
look. It was
that-
she was by herself.
So that would be unheard
I
of
see?
today.
You would be arrested.
That would be unheard of.
Ooh.
They purposely sent a dog into
Knowing
space,
she wouldn't come back.
Horrible.
knowing she would not return.
Y'all, but she's
That-
in this little tiny module.
You would
like,
go to prison
Crammed
for
in
that.
there. I'm sitting looking at a picture.
Do you agree that you would go to prison for that right now?
Yeah, that's horrible. I can't believe NASA did
Okay.
that.
That's pretty sad.
Maybe
NASA
it was
is
at
that
NASA.
was that
I
NASA?
thought that was going to be a
Hold
fun
on, was
thing
it
to
NASA?
read.
Was it NASA?
Well, it was the Sputnik too, so
We can't blame it on NASA.
well, I'm guessing it
NASA's
was.
cool
I
because
don't-
Mark Rober worked there.
I don't think
I'm
NASA.
still
I think
thinking
Mark
it was
Rober listens to our
NASA.
podcast actually.
He
I
does not.
seriously doubt Mark Rover
In fact,
listens to our
we might could
podcast.
contact him. He might be our guest next week.
That would be awesome.
On the other hand, Mr. Beast.
Hey, here you
he's-
If you ever want to be on it, you're more than welcome.
At what point during the podcast do you give your little plug?
Oh, we'll do that near the end, kind of.
Oh, Pickle, you have to do another beep later.
Yeah, I heard you say my real name.
If
It's a
you
secret.
read the very next
Hold on.
one,
Do you think the audience don't know we have real names?
I think
no, they
I
think that
think
I'm really sweet pea.
90% of our audience knows our real names.
Yeah.
Like there's a few people like out of country that might not, but
Yeah. Okay.
maybe some people like in the
Pickle.
U.S. But most of the
If you you need to read the very next one
no, I'm going to read. Wait,
because it
Yeah.
kind of
No.
stays on the same train of thought.
after what?
About sending
Depressing.
dogs to space to
After-
die.
No, about death.
No, I'm doing this one. The first text message.
Oh,
Good grief.
I guess I'll do the downer
Okay,
one.
when do you think the first text message was
y'all
sent
are
out?
making this. Y'all
No,
are
he's
making this
cheating.
so.
Okay,
no.
Sweet Pea just showed him.
I
No,
didn't
she
show him.
didn't.
I promise.
She showed me something that we can't talk about on this podcast.
Wait, honestly, which one were you talking about?
No.
Nothing.
No.
You
Okay.
can't read it.
All right.
Okay, first text message.
Back on topic. First text message. So we're guessing. Sweet Pea, do you know?
I haven't seen it.
All right. Man, I'm thinking. Like, I think we were sending text messages
I think it's in the 90s.
when I was in high school.
I think it's in the 90s.
I'm
my guess.
I'm just gonna say the 90s.
I'm gonna say in the 19.
Maybe somewhere in a dark room, somebody had something going on in the 80s, but I think it really became a thing in the 90s.
Give me an exact year.
No, I'm not.
So I'm going to
No.
guess in the
Just try.
1900s.
1992.
No.
Okay, Sweet Peach
if-
cheating.
I'm not. I haven't
Oh,
looked at
she
anything.
must have got it.
No, she sent me the website. She's seen all these.
I have not. I have not. I promise I did not read that one.
Okay.
All right, I'm going
She's
like.
right.
I'm going to
Are you
guess.
serious?
Awesome.
1992.
I'm right about something.
I was
Okay,
gonna,
so I was right
Texting-
too. 'Cause I said 90s.
Texting is practically an essential to modern life, as waters and tacos. And you have Neil Papworth to thank for your cramped fingers.
Oh.
On December 3rd, 1992, he was working on developing SMS for Vodafone and sent the first text. What did he send? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Wow.
At least it's better than Mr. Watson. Come here and check it out. Okay, that's just an ad. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Merry Christmas.
All right.
Merry Christmas
I'll
to
add
you.
another
Right
leap of
away.
looking on.
All right then.
Okay, skip a few.
Oh, it's my turn. I'm going back. I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna read this one. First pedestrian hit and killed by a car.
Oh, that sounds
Why are you
enjoyable.
being so morbid?
I don't know. I just
Dogs
wanted...
in space dying and now people dying.
But what year do you think that happened?
The first
'Cause
person to be
cars-
hit by a car?
Cars have been around a while.
It was probably by a Model T.
But
I would say the same year that the first car was driving down the road.
because they probably couldn't drive very good.
They didn't have stop signs and red lights.
It was in 1896, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when was the first car invented?
Let's see. It says, I don't want to read the whole thing. It'd be boring. Okay, so the first person to be killed by a car was Bridget Driscoll. She was struck down by a demonstration car on August 17th, 1896. The car was traveling at 4 miles per hour.
No way.
Which makes it even harder to understand how the
It was
tragedy
fatal?
happened.
Is it
Okay,
fatality?
If you got killed,
Yes.
that's a fatality.
I didn't
She
hear the
got
get
killed.
killed part, but
You
I heard
could,
4 miles an hour.
Ride a
Four.
bike and kill somebody
So what
at
happened?
that
Like
speed.
they must have hit her and then like, oh well, and then just
So-
kept going.
So when I run down the road, like I think like your average speed is like 8 miles an hour, 7 to 8 miles an hour.
I wouldn't know because I don't run unless I'm being
I
chased.
find it hard. Again, I would fact check that. I find that hard to believe.
The coroner said he hoped such a thing would never happen again. Little did he know.
Really, huh?
Wow. Good thing he doesn't know what we know now.
First person to be hit and killed by a car.
At
What year
4
was
miles
that?
an hour.
18 what?
I think it was 1896.
Yeah, 1896.
Maybe it was a little person. Okay, the first voicemail message.
You're really sticking with all the techie stuff. I see you
These
what
are
you're
hard.
doing. I'm having to do all the deaths, and you're
Well-
doing.
Voicemail?
The first voicemail message. Guess
Like
the year.
answering machine stuff?
Like voicemail message.
1900s.
Guess a year.
No, I'm just saying the 1900s.
1998.
Guess
No,
a year,
it was,
Chip.
it was before that.
Guess a year then.
We had answering machines way before that. I'm saying in the 80s somewhere. No, I'm not. I'm even going back to the 70s. I think somebody in the 70s had one in a closet somewhere.
I'm
So
thinking.
1970s.
I'm thinking
Like that.
cell phones.
Okay.
What?
Well, go back a century.
Are you serious?
On April 9th, 1860.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how to pronounce this
Okay.
dude's name. His last name is Scott.
Okay.
Inadvertently invented the first voice message. Decades before voicemail would become a blessing. What did he choose? He sang a 10-second clip of the French folk song Clair de Lune. Scientists were actually able to play the recording back until 2008.
What was it stored on? That's what I don't
I have
understand.
no idea. There's a picture of it, and it looks like some kind of old drill.
Okay, that's...
I don't know. There's like a crank device and something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
I have a scary one.
Ooh,
Well, it's probably scary to the people who found it.
Oh.
The first giant squid seen outside of nightmares.
I'm not
What's
guessing the
nightmares?
year.
A bad dream.
I'm not guessing
Oh,
the
okay.
year.
I thought it was like a place or something. Like a
Archie.
museum.
Archie, a 28-foot giant squid, was accidentally caught in a fishing net in March 2004.
I think
That's
I remember.
pretty recent.
You know what? I think I actually remember that story.
Those were probably some startled fishermen. While many people had claimed to have seen a giant squid, he was the first giant squid to be captured. He didn't survive long, sadly, but you can see him displayed at the London Natural History Museum.
I think I remember that story when it.
They have him
when it
in
broke.
in a case.
Can I
Like he's
see?
all laid out like a coffin, kind of a glass coffin. It's kind of gross.
You know.
Yeah, whatever.
He's big though. Y'all could look him up, Archie, the giant squid.
I like the name
Archie?
Archie.
Mm-hmm,
That's
I
a
do
good
too.
Archie.
for an animal, not for a human.
Your
Any
turn,
more?
Pickle.
Okay. Okay, Chip should know this one. First video on YouTube.
Oh, hold on.
This is
hold
popular.
on.
Like this is like a one of like everyone listening
I know what the
probably
video
knows this.
is.
You know the title?
Yeah.
First
What?
video on YouTube.
Visiting at the zoo or something
No,
like that.
it's not that. It's close. Me at the zoo.
Video on YouTube.
The first video published on YouTube was in 2005
I don't know.
by one of the co-founders.
I don't know. Man, you know, I just remember hearing about
It's
this.
called
Elephants.
Meet Me at the Zoo.
Really?
Oh yeah, we
And it's,
saw a little documentary
yeah.
about that.
It is just an 18-second clip
He
of
just-
a guy explaining that elephants have big, long tusks.
How?
That was funny.
So that's been since 2005.
Yeah, that's not that long ago.
That means.
That was only
Was
like
French fry born?
2 years after we got married. Yeah,
Yeah, French
Yeah,
fry was
he
born. Wasn't he born in 2005?
He was born in 2004.
So he would have been 1.
Yep. That was the year Hurricane Katrina hit.
Ooh, gnarly.
Yes, Chip?
So, okay. So 2005 till now, do the math. How much? I mean, that's how many years? 20.
Well, we're in 2023, so that's almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. No, almost 25 years.
It
No,
would have
well,
been 18
No,
years ago.
Almost 20 years,
Yeah.
right?
how
18
many
years ago.
views do you think that video has had to date?
Oh, millions.
Oh, I thought it was like 6 billion.
No, not like that.
Okay, well, tell us.
253 million
Wow.
views.
Wasn't 6.
I would have thought there would be more than
the
that.
original 253.
Yeah.
I guess not everybody wants to hear about a trip to the zoo.
I'm going to have to go watch that video.
Well, it's only 18 seconds. I mean, it's not much, but
So that's kind of cool.
I have a very important first,
All right.
one I'm so thankful for. The first roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Wow.
What year do you think that was?
I've been wrong on everything, so I'm not even going to guess.
I'm gonna say 1543.
No.
I want to say that everybody
The
that I
fact-
have ever known in my life probably had some form of toilet paper. I mean, I knew one lady that was 100 years old when I was little, and she was born in 1899. I don't know if she used toilet paper or corn husk. But I'm going to say probably
Ew.
around 1900, toilet paper was invented. That's
I'm going to say 1830s.
That's my guess.
It was 1857.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
was close.
Joseph, it says,
Do you think it was quality toilet paper?
Banana leaves.
it says, you think people who don't wash their hands after using the toilet are gross now? Today, we at least have toilet paper. In centuries past, people just used to use their actual hands, and there was no antibacterial soap.
This is true.
You can thank Joseph Gaiety for this modern sanitation miracle. In 1857, he invented the first toilet paper that was the precursor to the toilet paper we use today. He named it medical paper and claimed it was the greatest necessity of the age. I agree. Mm-hmm. It's a very. We found out during
Most
COVID just
important kind of
how
paper.
important it was when we couldn't find it.
Okay. The first U.S. president to be elected unanimously.
Wow.
Really? Didn't know
Yes.
there was such a time.
Yes.
George Washington.
Yes.
All
way.
right.
He is the
I'm right
first
again.
and only U.S. president to ever be unanimously selected.
Because
And
we
also
didn't have a
the first
president.
president in the world.
That's interesting.
After his death in 1799, he was eulogized. Is that how you pronounce that? As being the first in war, first in peace, and the first in the hearts of his countrymen.
Wow. Did not know that. Okay.
Yep.
Is that all?
Do we have time for more, or are we done?
I have
Let
one.
me check.
What?
I want to
we
save
got a little
mine
bit.
to the end.
Yeah, one more. Okay, this is the end. We got one more.
No, I thought you
Yeah.
had one more. Sweet.
No.
Well, we've got tons more, but I mean, we're not going to read all of these.
Okay, well, I have one. It was in 2003 that there was a first.
What?
There was a bunch of firsts.
2003, a 20-year-old man did something.
A lot of 20-year-old
bungee
men
jump?
did something.
Huh?
Did he go bungee jumping?
In 2003, on January 21st, a 20-year-old man married the most beautiful girl in the world.
I have something to tell you. It wasn't January.
And
I said June, didn't
You
I?
said January.
you said January.
What do you think my fact is?
I don't know. I thought you were going to
It's
tell
y'all's
me about how
wedding.
you married me.
Oh, you thought that's what I was going to say? Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say.
Wait, you
Okay,
think
well,
he's
you
a
got the
mo-
month long.
Wait,
Okay, I
You're
meant
only
it.
6
Okay.
months
Too soon.
off.
They both start with a J.
Okay, there's like
In 2000, see, everybody thought before that time the most beautiful girl in the world was married, but she wasn't. The most beautiful girl in the world did not get married until June 21st.
Is this a fact or your
2000? It
opinion?
is fact. You can check it.
Aw,
Oh,
that's
really?
so sweet.
I can look this up right now.
Sweet Pea got married on June 21st,
Wait.
2003, and that was the first time the most beautiful girl in the world ever got married.
Can
We got
I,
married. And we still celebrate our birthday. Our birthday. We need to stop now. Our anniversary every month.
Chip,
Okay.
can I contradict that and say that Sweet Pea isn't the prettiest?
Do you or do you not like dessert?
Sweet Pea is the most beautiful person to ever get married
Well,
and
that's an
ever
opinion.
and to do a podcast.
That's an opinion.
You should not have to add a qualifier. That's terrible.
All right. Well, those were pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I
was.
liked your little play on words there. A bunch of first in the first month of the year.
Yeah.
That was kinda
thank
cool.
you.
All right. All right.
Well,
Don't forget about
we
your
have
plug.
some news.
Time for the plug.
If you didn't listen to our last podcast, then you probably should go listen to that one
I
because
think,
I said
I
something
think they
really.
should start at the very beginning and listen to them all.
We deleted the
No.
very first one.
Yeah. So start at number 2.
Start at number 2 because we don't have a number 1. We need to make a number 1 and set the release date back to then.
All right. Anyway, give your plug.
So, if you want to make your own podcast like us, and you can become popular and
Like
loved
us?
by the
Famous.
crowd, like us,
And rich,
Then-
not like us.
then you can use Podbean because that's probably the best platform out
Oh,
there.
it is. It is.
They make everything so easy. You just sign up, click a few buttons, and you're
Oh,
ready to go.
then you're there.
They give you all the statistics you need, all the information you need about your
Super
audience.
user
Yeah.
friendly.
They don't tell you about all the
Everything.
equipment you got to buy and the mixer and the computer
That
and the
has nothing to do with
microphone.
Podbean.
You could buy, make a small budget of like $300. You can get going with your own podcast.
Oh, use
And
Podbean.
If you use Podbean, use the promo code EarCandy.
Ear candy.
www.podbean.com/earcandy, and you can get
And
going.
we-
and
and-
it'll give us money. So
And we reap all kind of benefits and rewards if you
Yeah.
use that code.
yep.
While you're
You'll
at
get-
it, just
If
hop
you
on
use
over.
that code, just wait. It's not just our benefit. They get a
sorry.
free month of podcasting.
Oh, you can't beat that.
Awesome.
I wish we would have had a free code when we
I know.
signed up.
But
Well,
Okay.
and after you do all that, you need to hop on over to our Random Ear Candy Facebook page and our Instagram page
Yep.
and
Go like all our
us.
pages.
in our YouTube, we're on
You can-
YouTube too. We
We're
have
on
like
YouTube.
4 subscribers.
And then you can email us at
And you can email us.
randomearcandy@yahoo.com.
And tell us how much you love us.
Give us some tips, some suggestions for another podcast.
Yeah, and we can
Yeah.
open up a GoFundMe.
All right. Pop-Tart, it was good having you here.
Wait, what?
That was
And
Pickle.
good having you here. And Sweet Pea, good having you
Good to
here.
be here.
It was good to also be here, and I love listening to Sweet Pea.
And I enjoyed this conversation. Did y'all enjoy the conversation?
I did.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
scattered, but yeah.
All right. We hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. Until next time, adios.
Toodaloo.
Adios. Bye.
Bye, y'all.